how to be in love and I hate you at the same time. Hello, it's me again. So I really want to talk about ability to ask for help. This is really the trigger of why I'm trying to start this channel, because this is possibly the most significant change I had over the years. So a bit of background. So I'm really an independent person, possibly the most independent person you can imagine, or like you have known ever in your life. So at least I'm the most independent person my sausage dog, so my friends considered. So since I was, and it's not really a bad thing, just to be honest. So when I was, it's just really like my family kind of like culture. So like everyone in my family is really independent. We live our own life. No one, I think my mother sometimes would like to have some suggestion or like interfere my behaviors or like my decision, but it's not really works most of the time. So like everyone is really independent, and so I started to went to school since primary school, and it's not like 5 minutes walk from home to school. It's like 2 hours train and buses crossing the border of Hong Kong and China, and then I travel alone all the time. I move a lot by myself without any cars or anyone to help. And then I also I just purely do everything myself, because I don't really like to compromise most of the time, especially during traveling. Like I already paid the flight ticket, and I really want to go to wherever I like, instead of compromising and going to somewhere which I don't like, if that makes sense. So this is kind of like the background. I'm a really independent girl, so I can do basically everything myself, like go to restaurant, go to cinema, and I literally called an ambulance for myself when I was 17, I think. So because my parents can't speak Mandarin, but at that moment we lived in China, so I am the only one in that situation which can communicate with the ambulance service. So I called it by myself, even though I'm so painful, I can't even sit, or I can only hold one position. So this is a bit of background. So I'm really independent, and I don't think there's a problem with that until I met my friend Sausage Dog. So I think I'm independent, and I'm really proud of it, because I can solve every problem by myself. But at the same time, you can imagine, it's actually quite hard. So for example, moving. So I rarely even find a moving company to help, or fan and man. I never really find them to help. I usually just pack everything in my suitcase, and then everything in a box, and then mail it to wherever I'm moving to, which is really hard because I'm honestly not a really physically strong girl. So it's a really hard experience. That's why I don't like moving before I come to the UK. I really hate that. But I always did that. So I do really proud of it, but I don't like it at the same time. I feel like I'm really exhausted. But I think when I met Sausage Dog, so she is a really different, opposite girl compared to me. Sorry for the notification my laptop keep giving. So she is a really opposite girl. She is, I won't say she's really dependent, because it sounds really negative, but she is really soft, and she is really honest with what she needs from people, and she express her emotion in a really great way, I would say. Because for independent people like me, we I think it linked together. Like if you're really independent, you're trying to keep things to yourself, which is not really great in relationship, not only romantic relationship, but also friendship and like family relationships. So she's completely different girls than I do. And I think she as a friend really give me confidence that I don't need to be a perfect girl to handle everything by myself. Even though I'm not perfect, she still won't leave me. I think she have that kind of powers to kind of like enable people to ask for help. And so one of the example is that when I was moving from Durham to Leeds in the UK, so it's like moving down, it's still not close to the south, but like moving down. So she proactively offer a help to help me moving, while she is not really a physically strong girl as well. She is, I would say I'm stronger than her, but she's still offering that help. And I just feel really impressed because I think I kind of like indirectly reject her, because I know that it's really hard moving, it's really tiring, so I don't want my friends to get involved because it's not their responsibilities to help me to move. But even though I rejected her, she still keep asking like, do you really need any help? Like I can help you. And she just say that I don't want you to move yourself, like, which really give me confidence that, oh, I really can ask for help. Like this is really the first time I realized that there's nothing really matter if you ask for help. And I'm just really impressed and like I now trying a little bit more to ask for help if I need it. So another example is when I was at work. So I think one of the reasons which I really hate working is that when your leader, when my leader give me some task which is hard to complete, like I had an intention to just kind of like accept it, and then I will struggle a lot to complete that task, while I won't really ask for help because I feel like that's my responsibility as an employee. And it's common in China, so like in Chinese workplace, I think you are expected to complete every task assigned to you. While when I come to the UK, I work in a more caring environment, so I work in the healthcare industry now, which I feel like everyone is more caring and like they care about what you feel, how you're feeling, and like, do you need any help? So I started to really like, if I'm struggled with any of the tasks, I'm going to tell my manager, my leaders, that I need some support or like I need some advice at least. So this is one of the thing around workplace. And I guess it's also linked with the fact that I switched my career. So previously I worked as a data analyst, which I have spent already like 4 years of my university to study around data analysis, data modeling. So when I start working, I feel like I need to be strong in data analysis because that's kind of like proof that I learned something in the 4 years. And I'm kind of like afraid that if I ask a question, people will feel that I'm really stupid because I already spent 4 years and a lot of internships to like practice it. So I'm kind of like really afraid of asking questions when I was in my previous job. Well, because I changed my career path, so I'm now working in more like people fields or HR or like organizational development. So this is a whole new area which I never formally like learn it officially like through formal education. So I kind of feel that it's so normal that I don't know how to do my work because I didn't learn it. So I guess it's kind of like a perception, or like it's just an internal fear that I'm afraid to ask questions. Wow, I guess everyone have heard that there's no stupid question. So like, but I think whether you know it and whether you really do it, there's a really huge gap between. So you know that there's no stupid question. You know you have to ask question, and until you really ask the right question, is really like there's a gap between. So that's really what I learned since I come to the UK and since I start working in a more caring environment instead of a more like information technology industry previously, which is a private sector and which is really outcome focused, outcome oriented. So everyone is like focusing on themselves, and everyone is like working so hard for promotion instead of caring about people. So I also had a discussion with Sausage Dog that this kind of environment is really important, because if I didn't really work in the healthcare systems, I really don't have a chance to learn to be weak, I would say. So like, you just can't imagine how caring people can be, and like, you just don't need to be perfect because you always have people, you have teams, you have leaders behind you to support you. So I'm really glad that I come to the UK and like I switched my industry, because I think it's a really, really important like kind of like qualities. So again, like I don't think being independent and solving every problem by yourself is a bad thing. I still think that I'm really proud of it, because there's a lot of times which you really don't have support and you really have to get something done by yourself, and you have to make sure that you have that ability. But besides that, you have to realize that in many other situations, you really have someone always wanted to help, and you have, if you are lucky enough, you have your family behind you. You have a lot of friends like my sausage dog who they might not be able to solve the problem, but they would be able to give you advice and like kind of like trying to comfort you and provide emotional values for you. So I'm really, really glad that I met Sausage Dog. She possibly, I think she knows that, but maybe not that much. So I really want to say thank you to her. And yeah, there's mostly around like independence. I guess I'm a little bit out of topics going to ability to be caring, but I hope this makes sense. So I will see you next time when I figure out what I'm going to say in the next video, and enjoy the summer.